Hi, guys. This is your host, Brittany, and welcome back to this week's episode. In majority of the episode, you hear me mention the Crack the PCAT study system, and they are the sponsors for this podcast. And I just thought it would be a great idea to have someone from the company give you a more in-depth insight in what the company is about and more information about their products. So make sure to stay tuned for this great interview. Now let's get to it. Okay, hi Neil. Thank you for joining us. Can you please tell our audience, introduce yourself to our audience, please?
Yes, thanks, Brittany, for having me on the air. My name is Neil, and I'm the Vice President of Student Success for Crack the PCAT. I've worked here for many, many years now, and I've helped thousands of pre-pharmacy students gain admissions into top pharmacy schools across the country.
Oh, great. Thank you for joining us. So please, the audience hears me talk about Crack the PCAT program in most of the episodes, but can you just please explain the program to our audience, please?
Of course. Before we dive into Crack the PCAT and its benefits to pre-pharmacy students and how we've helped pre-pharmacy students since 2005, I want to delve into the importance of the PCAT. Now, the PCAT is required by many, many pharmacy schools. There's about 150 pharmacy schools in the U.S., and it's probably one of the most important tests of your life. It's going to determine whether you're going to get accepted into a pharmacy school or not. Okay. So I've talked to countless pre-pharmacy students over these years. Some of them, this is their lifelong goal of getting into pharmacy school. They've done their blood, sweat, and tears, and they get to the PCAT, and such a very daunting test. You have thousands of students that are trying to get into a pharmacy school, and they're competing for your spot, right? So it's very important that you hit a home run on this PCAT exam, because it's really going to make it or break it for some of these students. Okay. So with that being said, what Crack the PCAT does is that we're providing a solution. We're helping these pre-pharmacy students ace this exam and help them make studying for this exam also much easier. We provide everything, a very complete and comprehensive and realistic solution for them with PCAT crash course videos. So, that way it covers all the subjects that you need for the PCAT exam. It also enables you to stimulate the PCAT with over 10 full-length exams and thousands of questions and explanations. And the beauty of this, Brittany, is that students get to stimulate this exam. They get to rehearse it and mimic it, and it mirrors the same look and feel of the exam. And that way, when you get to the test center, it really calms down your jitters and your test anxiety, because you've already rehearsed the exam before, okay? And then after each test, it shows you your results and how you performed in relation to other students, which is really beneficial, because you want to see if you're, in the upper percentile compared to these other students who are taking our practice exams. And we just provide a whole slew of resources to help students, again, gain a leg up on their preparation. You can access our PCAT, Crack PCAT, on any of your devices: PCs, Macs, iPhones, iPads, Androids, and anytime, anywhere, which is really convenient, especially when you're on the go.
Yes, thank you. Now, with there being so many other study systems for prospective students to choose from, can you please tell us what makes Crack the PCAT program different?
Yes, that's a great question, Brittany. So, Crack the PCAT is a more complete solution. You don't have to go around fishing around for different resources, books, guides, flashcards, videos, tests. We try to provide you everything under one roof. And, you can, let's say, you're preparing for your exam. We provide video crash courses, over hundreds of hours of videos for the biology, general chemistry, organic chemistry, reading comprehension, the math sections. So you get to watch the videos to conquer these sections. It helps you save study time also, okay? Another thing is that we provide the largest arsenal of PCAT practice tests under the same testing conditions, okay? Another thing is that we're more affordable compared to others that could charge in upwards of $1,500, okay? And the other thing that we have is we have a guarantee that you won't fall into the lower 20 percentile category or your money back. So you really have nothing to lose, and it's a no-brainer to sign up with crackpcat.com to help you score higher in this exam.
Thanks. And for any students that are interested in using the system, where can they find the product?
Yeah, the pre-pharmacy students can head over to crackpcat.com. There you can actually sign up for a free trial and take a diagnostic PCAT exam to establish a baseline, identify your weaknesses, sharpen your test taking skills, and you can view the PCAT crash course videos. You can see little snippets of it, so that way you can kind of sample it. And when you're ready and comfortable, you can sign up for the program, and that way you have full exclusive access to all the content that you need to ace this exam and gain admissions into pharmacy school. We also do provide a mobile app, so you can go to the Apple Store, the App Store, or the Google Play to download CrackPCAT. So you can also have it on there to take a sample test or view the content of your PCAT crash course.
Okay, thank you so much, Neil. Those are all the questions that I had. Do you have anything else you want to add for our audience?
Yes, I do, Brittany. So pre-pharmacy students really need to understand that this PCAT exam is very vital and crucial to do right the first time around. You don't want to take the PCAT and have to retake it. Okay, what happens if you have to retake this exam? Okay, there's a few problems with that. One is you have to restudy for the exam, and who wants to do that, right? The other thing is that you have to repay for the exam. Okay, who wants to do that? And the third thing is that you run the risk of not getting into pharmacy school, okay, or postponing your applications. Okay, so it's obvious that you want to ace this exam the first time around. So you can't afford to make mistakes in your preparation. That's why we suggest going to crackpcat.com, signing up, and doing things right the first time. Okay, that way you understand how the test works. You have all the material that you need to conquer and defeat this exam the first time around. That way, you can focus on the things that really do matter, and you can also outshine it and outcompete the other students that are fighting for your spot in pharmacy school. So, Brittany, I'm a big fan of your podcast and the topics that you've been covering. I'm curious, when you took your PCATs, did you take them? Were you able to pass them the first time around, or did you have to take the exam over again?
Oh, yes, I did only take the exam once. I used a multitude of studying techniques with like Kaplan books and a book that just had just practice tests. But I did use Crack the PCAT because I'm more of a visual learner. And so being able to actively see someone explain, the different topics was a little bit more helpful for me.
Mhm. Well, that's wonderful that you were able to pass the exam the first time around. Could you have imagined if you had to take it a second time? I mean, how would have it been different for you?
Well, taking that exam another time, it was very like the whole process was very stressful. Just with the applications and then trying to make sure you do good on this exam. And I was still taking classes at the time. So trying to fit in studying, and I think I was in an internship and all of that together was just stressful on its own, not just, having the stress of trying to do good on this one exam, knowing that this is a part of the application package, that you're trying to look good for the schools that you're applying to. So I'm really not sure if I would have been able to do that again, but it definitely gave me that motivation to make sure I do good the first time.
That's awesome to hear, Whitney, that you passed the exam the first time around. Because over these years that I've worked at Crack the PCAT, I've talked to a lot of pre-pharmacy students that they've invested their whole life trying to gain admissions into pharmacy school, and they're taking the PCAT for a second or third time, and it's not ideal. And the reason why is because they underprepared the first time around, and so when they start using Crack the PCAT, that we equip them with the ammo that they need to succeed on this exam to combat and defeat this exam. Um, So it's very important again to be prepared for this exam because the PCAT's only administered a couple times a year. You don't want to have to wait for the next cycle, if you will. And with our preparation, we provide you with the video crash courses, the test to your phone and your computers, and you automatically receive the updates for free. It's streamlined seamlessly to your account, which is brilliant. That's another way that we stand out as well. So we look forward to helping students gain an advantage and leverage when they come to getting accepted into pharmacy school.
I would like to thank Neil again for being a guest on this week's episode, and I just want to make it clear that the Crack the PCAT program is computer based. As you know, the PCAT is given electronically on the computer, so that is helpful when doing the practice exams and looking up those video explanations and things of that nature. So I will make sure to leave all of the information on where you can find these products in the description. And please make sure to stay tuned for next week's episode where I'll be giving tips on how to stay motivated as we are all moving toward doing school and working from the computer, and just some tips to help you stay motivated during this time so you can make sure you're being productive. I will talk to you guys next week.